lot going on with this Donald Sterling stuff. For the people who don't know who Donald Sterling is, he's the owner of the Clippers, 80-year-old billionaire, Jewish, and you see a lot of videos coming out from Snoop, Lil Wayne. You even see a lot of backlash coming from Baron Davis talking about his old experiences with him, and this is all because of him talking to his girlfriend on a candid phone conversation that he didn't know was being recorded. And he expressed he expressed that he wanted her to not publicize so much her interactions with black people, and that she was associated with black people. The conversation was sparked by her posting an Instagram picture with Magic Johnson. This is a basketball owner, by the way. So, but I do want to just say this about Donald Sterling himself before I even respond to the videos that were said. But about this man, it shouldn't be a big surprise. Just like a lot of people weren't surprised by Paula Deen, old white woman from the South being racist, a lot of people shouldn't be surprised by Donald Sterling, not because of his race or because of his position, but because of his background. He's been in court. He's his fortune comes from, he was a real estate developer, and when he acquired real estate in Koreatown, he didn't rent to non-Koreans. When he acquired property in Beverly Hills, he didn't rent to blacks and Latinos and said that they stink and they attract vermin. These are things in his track record. Like I said, 80 years old, he acquired the Clippers back in 1981 for about $12.5 million. Now they're worth over $500 million. This man is affluent, to say the least. He doesn't have a worry in the world, and obviously he doesn't have any conviction in his heart for any decision that he makes or any way that he feels. And so what we see is that a man has an ideology where there are certain races that have evolved higher than others. And because of that, he behaves the way he does. It's not a surprise. And we really shouldn't be surprised by it. I'm not even surprised by Doc Rivers' comments. He said that J.J. Redick was just as outraged about it as Chris Paul was, which is comforting to know that we got white friends. But also, what it showed me was his willingness to keep on going with the NBA, his willingness to treat this as an isolated incident and act like he's the only one who's behind the workings of the NBA. Because no matter how much these guys play as opponents against each other, at the end of the day, they all work for the same people. And these same people still feel the same way about us, and they will use us as athletes, as rappers, as figures. They will do what we want, just like a pimp would do a prostitute, to get his money. So we shouldn't be surprised by that. But I am surprised a little bit by Snoop's comments, Lil Wayne's comments, everybody's comments, and everybody's drive to treat this as an isolated incident. And it's definitely not an isolated incident. This is how the world feels about us. If you look at, not only if you look at Donald Sterling's history, would you not be surprised about Donald Sterling, but if you look at world history, you wouldn't be surprised when they see us as the lessers. You heard me talk about the Munavasi and how in India, the religious and the ethnic minorities are seen as less than and are massacred by the thousands, and not even a police report is filed. In fact, the butcher of Gujarat, the president of Gujarat, who oversaw all of these massacres, now he's running for Prime Minister of India. So it's not a surprise that they feel this way about us, but it's slightly a surprise. It's kind of a sting, kind of a shock when I see my people want to treat it like an isolated incident. Snoop is all cursing them out. Lil Wayne's like, that's why I wouldn't be a Clippers fan. I'm a Lakers fan. You still a white people running us fan. And if you're outraged by his feeling toward us, you should be outraged by their treatment toward us, not only in the NBA, but in this country and in this world, period. We have to see that this ideology, that there are higher races, is something that must be combated. This is something that we have to come against. Because the people who started this country said that they thought it was obvious. They thought these truths were self-evident, that all men were created equal. And at the beginning of my Bible, it says that man was created in the image of God. So this ideology of higher races is at the bottom of it. And a lot of people stopped listening a long time ago because they don't want to think about this, and they will rather react with anger towards certain people. But what we need to do is react with solidarity toward an ideology that has oppressed us and kept us down for many of years. We didn't start from the bottom, we started at Kings, and we were brought down by our own mind. We're liberated by freedom of thinking. Google critical thought, come back and comment.